I had expectations on me already because of my dad. So that was difficult.
And I don't think Swansea fans will hate me for saying that year that they were, you know, they sort of were trying to become established in the Premier League. They were underdogs in most games that they played. What was that like, being involved in a team that maybe wasn't expected to win, that you'd gone from obviously expecting to win every game to people being happy if you did win a game, if that makes sense?
I get what you mean.
How like what was that like, going from one environment to another?
It was weird. Not weird like the club is not ambitious, because we had players who were very ambitious. Ashley Williams, Sigurdsson, Gomez, Shelby, these are guys who wants to win every weekend. Let me be honest. And I think that's why Swansea was there for those years, because they had guys who were men, who wanted to let the club be as high as it could. But it's true that, you know, when you're at Marseille, then Marseille is, let's say, the United or the City in Liverpool in France with Lyon and Paris.
People expect you to
win every week. So now come in, you're going to the game. Okay, so that means expectations is a little less from when you're playing at Liverpool or when you're playing at Chelsea or when you're playing at Arsenal. It's like, if you win, we're on fire. And I had to adapt to that feeling. I had to adapt to not winning every week. Because at Marseille, I lost 1 week, it was the end of the world. You know, you lose a game, it's the end of the world. And here, it's like you lose, it's like, stay calm, no problem. Fans are okay. Just go work and we win the next one, you know, calm down, focus on the next game. So it was more like you had time to digest the defeat, which is better, to be fair. Which is better, because you have time to digest it and take a deep breath and go again. You know you lost, you know you haven't done well, you know you want to win. So, but in them clubs, Marseille is like, and the whole week you switch on the TV, Marseille lost, Marseille lost, Marseille lost. It's like, it's just there. So it's difficult to get it out of you. But Swansea losing versus Man U, maybe people will be like, okay, Man U beat Swansea, and I learned that, but we did not accept it as a team. We didn't care if it was Man United or Chelsea or Liverpool or whatever. We went onto the pitch to win, because we had quality and character for that in that group of squad. And I enjoyed myself so much, because we were all believing ourselves that we were big players. We all told ourselves that we are big players. So we need to make sure that we show it, not only versus maybe the teams who are struggling in the relegation battle, but to make sure we show it even with the ones on top there, and we're able to do it.
I think that's really interesting that you've come to an environment where maybe the pressure is probably the least that you've ever had from the outside, but the pressure you put on yourself to perform and to show everybody that you were, you know, a top Premiership player, became more because of the outside pressure was off. That's something that's obviously like the top elite players. I mean, for anybody listening or watching to this, that if you want to get to the top level, you've got to share that sort of personality. That's pretty important.
Very. I think it's very important. You have to have self-belief. Build that fire in you. You know, build that fire. As soon as you lose the fire, you're 50% less, you know, good player, 100%. But that fire in you, you have to build it. You have to make your goals. And everybody's situation is different. When I mean in football, so clubs or injuries or whatever, everyone's situation is different. But look at your situation and make the most out of yours. You know what I mean? And get ready to work for yourself, for your family. When you do that to your best, then you're helping your team. So I think find the thing that motivates you? What really makes you want to play football? Why do you want to play? Is it just the passion? Some people wake up and say, no, there's a lot of money on football now. I want to be a footballer. Or, okay, but if it's the money, but if that's your motivation and that's going to be making you run and work and go through, so be it. But find your motivation to make you. Some is the passion, some is the glory, some is the fame. Everyone has his own, but you need to find your motivation. And we then found our motivation by, I felt that we all felt we were big players. No one ever said it out of their mouth, but when you look at the body language, when you look at Ashley Williams coming in, Routledge coming in, you had Norton, Gilfie, Key, John Joe Shelby, you know, we believed we were big players. So we didn't fear anybody, and we came with a lot of pride, and our chest was always high. We had big ego in the squad, and that's where I think we took us to get those kind of performances against the big teams.